the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Aaron's Hour, coming to you live from coast to coast from Virginia Beach, Virginia. All said in one breath. You know why? Because I'm not in the heat of Las Vegas anymore. Last week, I was in Las Vegas. Record heat in Las Vegas last week, 115 effing degrees. Back there, I was visiting family. My dad's back there visiting him. But now I'm back here in Virginia Beach where it's 60 degrees, but 9,000,000% humidity. So it feels like 200 degrees. Absolutely. Thank you for making me part of your Saturday. I am Aaron Phillips with Voice. And joining me today is a gentleman that I literally just met for the first time about 3 days ago, courtesy of my good friend Richard Mars, who, by the way, side note, come November, he and I are starting a new show called Memory Roads, but more on that down the road. See what I did there? Down the road, Memory Road was good.
I like that.
Anyway, I don't get paid for this. Imagine that. Anyway, Steve Neskis is a gentleman that been in the industry a long time, similar to me.
A few years.
Worked with some great people along the way, which we'll talk about. He's from New York originally. Hey, yo, you know what I'm talking about. He's from that neck of the woods, right?
Of course.
We know some of the same people, at least through third, fourth, and fifth parties. So we're going to talk a lot with him about his background, his history, and he's a restaurateur by trade. He got brought up in 20 years or so, you said, in the restaurant business?
More than that.
More than that?
I'm 71 now, so I got like 60 years in the business. Yeah.
So he knows food, which most New Yorkers do anyway. I mean, it is what it is. But more importantly, we're going to talk with him about all he's got going on, including a book he's in the process of writing, visions of the future. But we're going to hear some stories about how he got into doing what he's doing. Of course, you know me, I got stuff going on for Vegas and Rap 2.0, which we'll get to in a minute. But as always, you can check us out. There's 3 channels on YouTube and 3 channels on Facebook you can catch us on. And if that's not enough for you, tomorrow, 1 p.m., dbtv.tv re-airs all of Aaron's Hour shows, so you can check that as well. And also, quick programming note, as you all know by now, 90 minutes from now, my TV show, The Voice of 757, Cox Cable, Channel 4, Sky 4. For some reason, they were silly enough to think I do have a face for radio. No more. TV is where I'm at right now. So you can check that out. And today we begin, next couple of weeks, we're going to kind of review the summer. I'm going to show you some of the best of interviews and segments that I've done since January when we started the show. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll get to revisit some of the great people that I've had the opportunity to meet and present to you on the TV show. Just so you know, this Tuesday, I'm going back up to the studio up there, and I am going to actually be filming some new shows that'll start debuting about the middle of September. So new content will be coming, so I'm excited about that. There's a lot going on between now and the end of the year. I can't keep it all straight. But more importantly, today's show, as always, brought to you by my friend Stephanie Corcoran, Freedom Lending Team, my friends at Sky 4, and a new sponsor, but not really new. You've heard a lot about him, especially on last week's show. Frank Bizzarro, the founder of Firefighter Memorial Transport, giving back to not only firefighters, all first responders, military personnel, sending them off the way that they should be when the time comes. We want to support Frank as well as my guy in Las Vegas pushing all the buttons, making me sound good, and with these great backgrounds and stages and everything. Mr. John Styles is in Las Vegas. He has not melted, but he is back there. JPEG, how are you, my friend?
Excellent. Property values have increased by 42% since last week.
Since last week. Yeah, thank you very little. I appreciate that. Gotta love the support from that guy, don't you?
Absolutely. He's got some talent there.
Yeah, he's got some talent.
A keeper, huh?
The only problem is we're not sure where the talent is. But anyway, with that, I think it's time for some Vegas and Rap 2.0. Take it away.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right, it's interesting that Mr. JPEG ended his little appearance talking about real estate values, because one of the stories and information I want to share, you spent time in Vegas, right?
Of course.
A little bit. How much time have you spent out there?
I was actually 2 months promoting a singer.
Yeah,
there.
who was it? Who was the singer? Somebody we know?
No, nobody that you want to know anymore. But he at one point in time, he was he had a great voice, and then he lost it, and that's a whole new story.
We'll
that
talk about that on
later.
another episode.
Another episode.
Gotcha. How long ago was that?
Oh, I was 18 and I'm now what?
You said 71.
That's right.
So that's about at least 20 years. Anyway, by new math standards.
A whole different time of Vegas. I mean, Stardust
yeah.
was there, and
Yeah.
like it was the old school people,
Yeah.
with and but hey,
Yo, I know people.
I know people.
As a matter of fact, I have some of them people in my contact
I
list
bet
because
you
I
do.
interviewed them back then.
Yes.
Frank Collada.
Yeah,
You know
sure.
that name?
Oh yeah.
How
that
about Frankie
rings a bell.
Citro?
I heard of him, but I don't know.
He's still in the black book of the state of Nevada. He
No
is
way.
not. Yep. So I mean, I've Henry Hill.
I don't know him.
You don't know Henry Hill?
No.
You don't know that? You don't know the movie Casino?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Well, so Ray Liotta played Henry Hill.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So I mean, I got
You
I
were
got these
there at the
I-
time of magic too.
Well, I was there at a time. I spent I moved there in, let's see, 97. I moved there. My daughters were 3. Speaking of my daughters, it's a weird segue. But on Monday, my daughters I have twin daughters.
Beautiful.
They're celebrating their next birthday on Monday the 10th. So happy birthday to my girl, Stacy
We will
Melissa.
say happy birthday.
Absolutely. You're a
Yeah.
singer, aren't you? I mean, you were playing some cuts earlier today.
Yeah, I'm a musician.
You're a
More than
musician.
a singer, but I do have a voice.
You want to do a little acapella happy birthday to my girls for me?
Well, let's do it together.
No, no, you don't want that happening.
Okay. Well, we just wish them a happy
There you
birthday.
go.
I'll
Okay,
keep it
fair
short.
enough. Fair enough. All right, happy birthday, girls. Love you from
It's
Daddy.
your birthday. Happy birthday. All right.
Da-na-na. Say it's your birthday. Da-na-na-na. It's my birthday. No, it's not. My birthday was a couple of weeks ago. I turned the big 6'2" on the 5th of July.
Wow.
That's
You're
right. All right.
almost ready to do the big 6'5".
Well, I got
Do that again and I'm cutting your mics.
How to end a show quickly. Start singing on the air. I got 3 more years.
Yeah.
I got 3 more years. But the nice thing is about what I do, everybody looks towards retirement. If I was still in the corporate world like I was 21 years ago before I started this, I probably would be looking forward to retirement. The beauty is, and I've done it, and John knows this, all I need is a laptop, Wi-Fi connection, and a little juice if my laptop's not powered up, and I can do a podcast. Now with phones being what they are today,
Oh yeah.
I can do podcasts right from my phone. So I never really have to retire. I've done it from the beach. I've done it from balconies on vacations. I've done it in furniture stores. I've done stuff. So that's the beauty of what I do. I can do it anywhere.
And it's only going to get better.
And it's only going to get better.
It's only going to get better.
We call that a tease, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so I was talking about real estate. Well, John was. Las Vegas home prices. So this is a nice segue. Everybody loves real estate, and Vegas has been a topic about real estate for many, many years. And that's one of the reasons why my family and I moved there almost 30 years ago at the time, because real estate values were so much more affordable back in the day.
Correct.
So here's what's interesting. The median price of existing single-family homes sold in Southern Nevada in July was $480,000, down 1% from July of 2025 and down 2% from the all-time high set in May and June of this year. The median price of condos and townhomes sold in July was $290,000, matching the price from July of last year and well below the record high of $315,000 set in October of 2024. So here's some other highlights about some of the real estate market. And I bring this up because there's people all over the world who want to invest in real estate for whatever the reasons are. And Vegas is always going to be a hot spot. And like I said, I was just out there last week, and there are parts of the valley that are still under development, believe it or not. There's still some places where there's dirt out there that they can build. And when you consider how that city has grown,
It's not radioactive?
that's
No.
Area 51.
Well, okay.
That's not that close. John, I'm just reading your message in the private chat. That is very sad to hear. Wow. Okay, Vito Colucci, thoughts and prayers to the family. If that is true, we need to verify that, John. Okay, here's some of the real estate highlights. In July, 80% of all existing local homes and 67.6% of all existing local condos and townhomes were sold within 60 days in Las Vegas. Now, when I lived out there and bought and sold my homes, they were selling in 7 days or less. So that tells you how over the years the real estate market has drastically changed. And you could talk about real estate. You could talk about everybody in California who could sell their 1,200 square foot homes for $750,000 and buy 3 homes in Las Vegas for that kind of number at that time.
Sure.
Cash transactions accounted for nearly 24% of all local property sales in July, compared to 23.8 1 year earlier and well below February 2013 peak of 59%. So again, 2013, which was 4 years after the big crash in the economy in 2008, still Vegas was doing well. But obviously, I think Vegas now is catching up to the natural trends around the United States. Okay.
Correct.
Enough about that. One of the biggest entertainment trends in Las Vegas this year, of course, you know the Sphere. You've heard of the Sphere out there, right? You know who owns that? Do you know who owns that?
No.
You don't know?
No.
I'm very surprised.
Well, I will surprise you more as you get to know me.
Okay. So the guy who owns the Knicks,
Yes.
MSG, James Dolan. So the corporate name over the Sphere in Las Vegas is called MSG2. James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks and Madison Square Garden, owns the Sphere out in Vegas.
Wow.
One of the biggest hits of entertainment within the Sphere, which is about a 17,000, I think, seat Sphere, literally for concerts and shows, was The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
They were actually showing the old movie inside and experiencing it.
Wow.
Everybody I've spoken to, every testimonial, loved the show. So here's some interesting facts about that. The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, which is a groundbreaking, immersive experience, opened on August 25th, 2025, has been shown more than 850 times.
Wow.
So we're almost at a year, 365 days, right, in a year. So you're looking at that show at least being shown twice a day. Okay? Not bad. Guests traveled from all 50 states in the country, as well as 140 different countries have gone to Las Vegas to see the show in the Sphere. Now, between August 10th, this Monday, and September 30th, guests attending the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere can look forward to exclusive anniversary activations, including special edition Golden Apple Drops, interactive photo moments, and special anniversary menu with limited time commemorative popcorn boxes, cups, and more. So they're really making it big to do. And here's why. More than $450 million in ticket sales in 1 year.
Wow.
I've already mentioned 850 showtimes. Almost 4 million people have seen that show in the year. 675,000 apples have been dropped in the year. 8,000 butterfly flights. 6,500 pounds of leaves have been blown. And more than 3,200 winged monkey flights have taken place in that show. If you want your ticket information, they're not cheap. I think they're about $200 a ticket minimally for that, because people who are going from here out there were contacting me. You got any connections over there? I'm like, no, I don't. Sorry. Go to thesphere.com for all your ticket information. All right, let's talk about
that's a ninth miracle too, I think. You know,
What's that?
The Sphere, the
Yeah,
way,
absolutely.
the presentation, everything on it is just class A.
Every day when you wake up and you look in that direction, you never know what's going to be shown. The school I used to work at before I moved there, the last street the school was on that I would turn down, I had a view of the Sphere.
Wow.
And whether it was a smiley face or the earth, it was always cool to see what they were going to put up there.
Yeah.
So it is, and I saw it going up. I saw it in different phases, just like I saw the new baseball stadium that's being built out there, home of the future Vegas A's. Nobody really is happy about that out there. But yeah, I mean, the Sphere really is a ninth wonder of the world, if you will. It really is. And it's designed really strictly for concerts and shows like that. It's not for basketball. It's not for anything like that. It's strictly
my
for...
brother went to the Dead show there.
Oh, okay. So he saw it. He was inside.
Yeah.
Great experience. Speaking of music, then I'll flip these last two stories. Gladys Knight is coming to the Rivers Casino in Portsmouth, October 9th at 8 p.m. One show. Tickets start at $59, can be purchased at their official website, riverscasino.com. You must be 21 years of age or older to attend. So here's some things in case you forgot about how good Gladys Knight is. She's a 7-time Grammy Award winner, and she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame because originally it was Gladys Knight and
The Pips.
there you go.
Damn.
They were the guys that taught background dancing, right? They were the ones that got it going.
Yeah.
She is known for hits she recorded during the 60s, 70s, and 80s with the group The Pips, including the signature hit Midnight Train to Georgia. Okay, last but not least, before we go to break, this weekend here in Virginia, Virginia's tax-free weekend has begun. Why? Because in about a week's time, families are getting ready to go back to school.
Isn't that amazing? They're making it sooner and sooner. What do you think about that?
Well, in Vegas, school is starting next week because what they have to do is, even though it's hotter than the Dickens right now, they try to get out by like the second week of May to beat the heat next year.
Gotcha.
So I get that. And I think the other thing that they want to try to do, all school districts now, they're looking at Labor Day weekend, and they want to try to get like at least a full week of school in before Labor Day. Because usually those first couple of days of school, it's rosters, it's books, it's seating. They're really not getting into it because it's Labor Day is coming up. But now with at least a week to 2 weeks ahead, they can at least get into some meat of education. I'm okay with it. If I still had kids in school, the sooner I can send my kids back to school and free up my time, I'd probably be jumping for joy like everybody else.
That's a good point.
You know, my wife was an educator though for 40 years, and you know, for her as an educator, it was a 12-year job. Teaching is a 12-month, not a 12-year, 12-month job.
Yeah.
But when you're an administrator, you get only a couple of weeks off because you're back in school almost a month before even the teachers have to report again. So you get a couple of weeks to kind of kick back. But really, teaching is a 12-month job, no matter what your schedule is. So I'm okay with it, especially if a lot of schools now, especially the older schools, you don't have air conditioning. You don't have that like the schools in Vegas. Here, cinder block schools are cooler, but the older schools don't have that. Get them in and out before the heat gets to them. All right. So as of 12 a.m. this morning, Friday night, Saturday, whatever, means that you can buy school supplies up to $20 per item, hurricane and emergency prepared gear, plus Energy Star, WaterSense products, and all clothes. One of the highlighted areas here that you can do this with is at the Norfolk's Premium Outlets, located right off the highway here in Virginia Beach. There are 70 retailers available, and basically anything you buy within the limits, for instance, you won't find school supplies at one of the particular stores, but backpacks, clothing, and footwear for up to $100 per item, tax-free. If you're going to buy stuff for school, your school supplies must be at least $20 per item for tax-free incentives. And the tax-free weekend ends at 11:59 tomorrow night. So don't go in Monday morning looking for tax-free stuff. So save some money getting ready to go back to school, college, elementary, whatever it is. Save some money. All right, with that, we're done with our opening segment. We come back on the other side. We're going to get started with this guy officially, learn a little bit about what he's about. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot to do, a lot of announcements, things to share. Aaron Zauer, Coast to Coast. We'll be right back. Woo-hoo.
Stephanie Corcoran, branch manager of the Freedom Lending Team, is a dedicated VA home loan specialist that runs a team with one mission, serving those who have served our country. As a proud military family member, she understands the sacrifices that come with service. That's why Stephanie and her team are committed to making the VA loan process simple, clear, and tailored specifically for veterans and active duty families. Whether you're buying your first home or using your VA benefits again, you deserve a team that knows the ins and outs and puts your needs first. To chat with Stephanie, call 209-777-5160. At Freedom Lending Team, we don't just do VA loans, we specialize in them. Let us help you take the next step by bringing veterans home.
Every day they answered the call. They served, they protected, they sacrificed. When their final journey comes, they deserve the same honor they showed others. Firefighter Memorial Transport provides dignified memorial transportation for our fallen firefighters, law enforcement officers, veterans, first responders, and their families. Because heroes should never be forgotten. Your tax-deductible donation helps keep this mission moving. Donate today. Firefighter Memorial Transport. Honoring heroes, serving families, preserving their legacy.
All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Appreciate it. Before I move on officially, Stephanie's commercial in there brought to mind a good friend of mine who was actually a guest on the show in the past, my friend Annabelle Poole from Signature Homes. She was on with me a number of months ago, I think last year at this time. We were talking about the real estate market here in the Virginia Beach area. I promised her I'd do this for her today, so I'm doing it. She's got an open house scheduled today from 1 to 3 down in Chesapeake at 948 St. Andrews Reach is the name of the condo complex, Unit C, Chesapeake, Virginia, 23320. If you want to give her a call for information, call her at 757-257-2283. So check out my friend Annabelle. She's got an open house today. Beautiful little townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I think I saw the price on here at 235,000. That's it.
You can get good deals in
You
Chesapeake
can,
still.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely. 1,300 square feet, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So
that's
there you
not
go.
a
Ambo.
bad deal. You can't do that in Virginia Beach. but-
No, you cannot. Maybe pitch a tent and you
Yeah.
can sell that for 235 on the
That's
stand, right?
that's
All right. Joining me this morning, Steve Neskis. He's a distinguished professional known for the multifaceted expertise. Who wrote this? There's too many big words in here. Let's put it this way. He's a smart guy that knows a lot about enough stuff that he's important enough to hear. And no, he's a visionary technology advisor. He has spent decades in the media career. I touched on that early, and we're just going to talk.
Don't forget about a systems thinker,
Systems thinker,
a
right?
futurist,
This guy, listen, he don't
an
care about the
exponential entrepreneur, and a social engineer, which is very important.
Listen, anytime people use words that have more than 2 syllables in them in this show, I have to worry. I have to worry that my education is not where it needs to be. No, absolutely. And I think as we progress through our conversation, I think my viewers will find that out, that you know a lot about a lot of good stuff. And the visionary part is something that we'll kind of touch on towards the end, but the ideas that you have, that you shared with me the other day, is really what really has intrigued me about the possibilities of the future. But before we get into all of that, how did you get into doing what you're doing? I mean, where did you start? You keep talking about you're 71 years young, but you've done a lot of stuff. Talk about how you really got your foot planted into the world of business and society and all
Sure.
that.
Well, I was born an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Okay. And my father was an entrepreneur. His father was an entrepreneur. In fact, he went to America
Mhm.
and opened up the first diner in Staten Island.
Oh my goodness.
Sold it right before the Depression.
Okay.
Came back to Cyprus, bought an oxen for the community. And
Okay.
somebody talked to him, they had sheep, and he had 300 sheep, and they had land. So
Okay.
they were in the farming, grapes and all kinds of stuff
Sure.
like that. And then they were doing good, but all of a sudden, this is how life is, a drought happened, and
Okay.
it didn't happen 1 year, 2 years. It happened for 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
Everything died.
Eesh.
So they had to go to England and sell embroideries, which was the next village down, called Gatovis.
Okay.
And they were from another village. So you up over the mountain. That's where they were famous for their embroideries before the Japanese got a hold of it.
Gotcha.
Made the artificial ones.
Right.
But they were renowned for it.
Okay.
So they had to go back to England and do all that. He graduated from the American Academy and learned English, so he was very versed in English,
Mhm.
And he opened up 3 fish and chip shops
Okay.
in England.
Nice.
Came to America, and on my mother's side, farms, restaurants, all entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I grew up as an entrepreneur.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So I was born to be an entrepreneur.
There you go. So, but obviously the restaurant industry was very big in your family.
Yes.
Did you
yes.
follow suit at some point with your own restaurants? Or?
I always, because it was a family affair,
Right.
and once you realize if you try to open it all by yourself, you're
Right.
dead.
Okay. Sure.
It always you needed a team.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the team was my mother, my father, my brother, and myself.
Okay.
That was a whole good.
And as a family, I mean, you
yeah.
can rely best on your family in most circumstances.
Yeah, mom would make the baklava and the pasticho and the moussaka, but that's when we had a really, really successful restaurant inside a hotel
Right.
that my uncle's owned, called the Dunes on 9th and Oceanfront.
Okay.
And we had the Pirates Cove. It was a gourmet restaurant, and then it turned into the Golden Griddle for 35 years. But I regress. Before that, we were in Norfolk, okay?
Mhm.
And my uncles had the 21st Street cafeteria. My other uncle had the mall restaurant across from the courthouse. That's how we all became lawyers, our family, extended family. And we had a restaurant, a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant called the White House Grill on Granby Street.
Okay.
And that thing had that big charcoal grill right in front of the
Right in
window,
front.
and the exhaust would go there. And they said that this brought them in.
Sure. The smell, the aroma.
Yeah,
absolutely.
the aroma was just,
Sure.
nowadays, I don't think it's even legal to do that kind of thing. But back in there, and I was 9 and 10 years old, mopping the floors. At 10, I was flipping the hamburgers
Right.
and taking cash because the the cash register was right there by the charcoal grill.
Okay.
So, I don't think laws allow you to do that anymore, you know?
I don't know. I'm not in
Yeah,
the food
yeah,
business, but I
no.
can understand the smell of the aroma. Yesterday, coming up the elevator here to my studio, on Fridays, the landlords, they provide breakfast for everybody. And I'm coming up the elevator, and I'm smelling the bacon and eggs that they were in the elevator downstairs coming up to the third floor. So I get the aromas pulling you in.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah,
works. That's
yeah.
the sensory organ. Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up in the restaurant business, and I always was, selling newspapers, anything that could bring me to that next level of entrepreneurism.
So when did you realize, or what was your aha moment when you knew it was time for you to not be in the restaurant business, for you to strike out on your own in whatever direction it was at that time?
That's funny that you asked that, because I never let go of the restaurant.
Okay.
Okay. What happened was, and this happens a lot in my church that I happened to go to, was a guy named Bob Gabriel. He had Dan Advertisement Agency with some other people.
Right.
And he goes, Steve, I'm promoting, concerts and stuff. And he promoted the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young concert with 22,000 people, wrote a book on how to handle a large audience, actually paid to have a riot police, whole group of people in the library. Nobody knew about it.
Okay.
And, so he says, you want to learn the business? And I went, of course.
Why not?
And I had the pleasure to do Cat Stevens at William and Mary.
Okay.
And that gave me the sense of, hey, you only do what you know and what you experience. And that gave me a whole new level into the entertainment industry, which I took to New York and worked with Richie Havens that opened up Woodstock and then all that kind of stuff. But so I really had a constant thing, but I was always in the restaurant business, and that gave me the ability to have cash, because most people would have to have a job somewhere in between all these, things. I was lucky to have a cash flow.
Okay.
And because we were owners, I could create my own time schedule.
Right.
So
that's the beauty of working for yourself.
Yeah. That I encourage everybody
That's right.
to have, if you can, work for yourself, create your own schedules, and that way you'll be able to do your passion. So I was able to do my passion, so that's the kind of lineage that I had, on there. So, how I got to New York is a whole other story
Well, you spent over 30 years though in media production and understanding what this realm of the industry is. How did you get into that?
Well, that's a interesting story. I was on my Hobie Cat, right?
Okay.
And when you came to my restaurant in Virginia Beach, welcome to Virginia Beach. We're the Neskis family.
Okay.
This is your home away from home. We're here to make your stay a happy one.
Okay.
And they would go, I'm from Ohio. This is the first time I ever been here in the Virginia Beach. And look, I really respected that they spent 2 weeks of their hard-earned income to come to Virginia Beach.
Right.
And to me, serving people, as a good entrepreneur, you learn to serve people. If you serve people and provide a good product, you will be successful.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you try to take advantage of people,
doesn't work.
it doesn't work. In the long run, or the
it
short
may work
run,
at the moment, but
Yeah.
long term, you don't have the loyalty.
Yeah. And after 35 years, people came actually for my mom's and my dad's anniversaries. They book to be there, bankers and all kinds of interesting fellowships. And we would, this is what happened. So I'm in my Hobie Cat. And at that time, they allowed me to keep my Hobie Cat right in front of the motel.
Okay.
And the lifeguards would blow the whistle, and they would part the seats for me. I would take off like this. I really had a
You had it set.
I had a lucky opportunity there at that point, because now they moved everybody off the beachfront. You can't keep a Hobie Cat. They got to go like a 55th Street to have a permit and all these things as people
very different.
Well, back then it was only a couple 100,000 people.
Right.
And now we got over almost 600,000 people.
Something like that, yeah.
So I hear New York City going bankrupt. And I said because I always have this internal conversation with spirit within ours, knock and I shall answer type of thing,
Right.
I said, God, how can the financial capital of the freaking world go bankrupt? And, so I'm taking off to the islands, man. I could do this anywhere.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, the voice said, weren't you born in New York? And I went, yeah. weren't you part of that peace and love movement? I went, yeah. Why don't you go find out why you can make a difference? I went, no. Let me go to the islands. I will be a good boy.
Right.
And he says, don't you want to look in the mirror and say, job well done when you get older? I said, okay, let it be so. And sure enough, somebody was looking for my brother, who was at that time a prosecuting attorney for Virginia Beach.
Okay.
And I said, I'm sorry you missed him, but please come to have some breakfast with me. And we did. He was an entrepreneur like me.
Okay.
This is the synchronicities, how things happen, because the life sets you up this way. A thought is a tangible form of mass. Once you project it, you can receive it if you have the faith of a mustard seed. That's why books like Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking
The
Big.
Secret.
Yeah. And
Did you follow The Secret at all when that came out?
Yeah, and it was exactly
Okay.
that whole understanding.
Right.
The secret is having that ability to know, okay,
Right.
and to vibrate close to you. So he goes, I can't do this project, Steve, but you can make $1 million. And he throws his first thumb paint and catches it because the guy's in Hackensack, New Jersey, right outside of New York City. I said, here's the project that's taking me to New York. So these little, I call them vignettes of life, happen. And next thing you know, I'm seeing Richie Havens on TV with Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I said, that's the guy I want to work with in the music industry. And I was developing these systems, right, at that time. And come back to the beach, and Richie Havens is going to be playing at Abbey Roads and at the campground with Leon Russell and John Sebastian.
Wow.
Next thing you know, I can't meet with them at that time, but this girl that I was dating says, here, her daddy was an advertiser. I have advertisers in the weaving. This is like, you can't write this.
You can't write it. Yeah.
You have to live it almost,
Right.
And he goes, you want to, here's the phone. I said, I understand you want to work with Richie Havens. We're Splash Mountain Records and we're producing the album. And so we ended up meeting together at Thompson Square. And he said, you're a visionary department.
Okay.
And that's how I started
Wow.
to meet Richie Havens and to end up working with a talk show host and all
Wow.
that. So these opportunities come.
Sure.
And they come, not every day. So you
Right.
have to pay attention and you have to act on them as
That's
an
like
entrepreneur.
that's like the old joke about a guy who was stranded on an island, or he was stuck in the water and he's praying to God about looking for help, and then sends a rowboat, he refuses
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
Sends an ocean liner, refuses
Yeah.
it. Why aren't you helping me? Well, I've sent you a boat. I've sent you, and he just refuses it because he wasn't aware of what was around him to know
Correct.
that these are the signs.
Yes.
And I agree with that. I think there's, and we joked about this in the elevator coming up this morning about, we'd rather be lucky than good or good and lucky. I'd rather take a combination. I'd rather be good with a little bit of luck,
Yeah.
but luck does go a long way. And that's, I agree with your philosophy. on
And
that.
you make your luck, actually.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Because a thought is a tangible form of mass. Once you project it, you
Right.
shall receive it.
Puts
It's
it out,
actual.
yeah.
It actually is. When we do scientific tests, we have an aura around us and all this type of stuff. There's so many dimensions that we don't even understand
Right.
yet. I call this the dark ages of the modern era, when we think we know everything, but we're still using the old modalities that no longer serve us to the new ones that will for the 21st century.
Right.
And that's my little niche. I'm a musician, I'm a videographer, I'm a systems thinker, but the real thing is that my niche, what do I provide for
Sure.
society, is the systems and mechanisms that transcend these old modalities.
There's one thing that you do, if I read it correctly on your bio, and you haven't brought it up yet, so I'm going to just question it to make sure that the internet was correct, that you're a surfer also.
Yeah, I'm a surf dog.
So,
Yeah.
so what I find interesting is because I read some of your thoughts on the value of surfing, besides it being a sport and all that stuff, about how it's a de-stressor, an emotional release for you, an opportunity to think. And I find that so cool because I met with a gentleman before I left to go to Virginia, and he has a nonprofit called Ping Pong Gives.
Ah,
And his philosophy behind ping pong is not only for the competition, but how it's a mental stress reliever for really people of all kinds. But he takes it into like assisted living complexes and people. And and I just find it so interesting now. A whole new door is opening on how you can look at sports.
yes.
And we look at sports for the entertainment value of watching football and baseball, but for the participants, no matter what level you're on, it's more than just the sport. It's more for the mental exercise, the stress reliever.
Correct.
And so I found that so interesting that in the span of 2 weeks, ping pong and now surfing, a whole different perspective. How did you find for yourself that surfing for you
Yeah.
did that?
Well, surfing is very, very interesting. It's a one-on-one sport,
Sure.
just like playing golf and
Right.
other things. So you're in
You
your-
and the board
yeah, you
and
and
the water.
board, and the water and the
And the
sharks.
sharks. Right. Shark Week.
We can't forget the little
Can't
critters
forget
out
the
there.
people in there. We're in their
the
world out
skates
there.
that are laying down,
That's right.
that'll whack you. And a lot of people fear that. And if you get into that motion of fear,
Right.
you'll never be a surfer. Or you'll never venture into the water. So
Listen, I read Jaws back in the day before I saw the movie by Peter Benchley.
that did
It's
a lot.
taken me a long time to decide to get back in. That's why I like
It scares
pools
a
now.
lot of people.
Oh,
Scared
absolutely.
a lot of
Anyway,
people. So when you drop into a wave,
right.
you are no longer thinking. You are becoming part of this motion
movement,
of energy, and it's so zen. And you clear the mind, and it's like, I want more of that.
Right.
It's just like when you hug a beautiful lady. You go, I want more of that.
Right.
You're not in your moment.
Right.
You're
in the moment.
You're the moment.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And that's anything that you do, any sport that you do, whether it's weightlifting or whatever, it's going to release endorphins.
Well, and it's funny. I do CrossFit. That's part of my regimen to stay healthy.
I can tell.
Well, I
You're
don't know
very
about that.
well, built. Here
2 to
for
3
your age.
weeks, 2 to 3 times a week I go, and people do exercise because it's their release, right?
Mhm.
But people look at CrossFit as a competition, like
Yeah,
like
big
Wide World.
time. Yeah.
And there are CrossFit games that are out there. And when
Yeah.
I started doing this as part of my healthy regime 8 years ago, I realized where I was in life for myself. I'm not in competition with anybody when I walk into the gym, except for one person,
Mhm.
and that's me.
That's right.
I want to go in. I want to have a good workout. My competition is to survive and not get hurt, which I did a couple of years ago. I had shoulder surgery
Sure.
because of movement, but that happens.
Yeah.
But when you're focused on that moment and you're not thinking about anything other than the goal at hand to lift 180 pounds off the floor in a deadlift or push press, or yesterday was all old school movements of knee raises and all sorts of stuff, that your mind can't but think of anything in that moment.
Correct.
That you're engulfed in what you're doing for me, in CrossFit, surfing, ping pong, whatever it is. I think a revolution now can be looking at sports beyond, and I'm just using sports because that's what we're talking about here
Sure.
with surfing and everything, beyond the scope of just the physical activity and as a viewer fan, but really what it does for the people involved in the sport. Yes, you're focused and you get good through practice and all of that, but you're focusing on that moment.
Yes.
The bill collectors can't bother you. The dog needing to go out can't bother you because you're so. It's like when I'm in the studio. Nobody, when we're doing this.
Yeah.
For the hour I'm in here.
Yeah.
Nobody can bother me because
That's
I'm
right.
locked in here.
Yes.
And it is very stress reducing because we're in our element here. So I think that's fascinating that I read that about the surfing side, and then on top of the ping pong, I'm like, whoa, this is a whole new way to look at this stuff.
Yeah, and 71 still surfing.
Yeah.
And when people look at this face, they go,
It's a
"Hey,
face of Muddock and love.
I say I'm 71 years young, and they go, "No, you're not. You're 45, 55, maybe."
Yeah.
And I say to them, "Well, the word you have to trick the brain, because
Right.
the brain is just like a computer.
Sure.
So you don't say life's a bitch and then you die, because guess what? The world wants to make you right.
Right.
For some reason. So whatever path you choose, how you vibrate that story, it's going to happen to you.
Sure.
So I say 71 years young.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, even Neil, songs that have old man, I say young man. I just do not dare say that. And it does trick the mind.
Right.
And because we are a computer,
Right.
and it makes the endorphins.
Mhm.
A body in motion stays in motion.
Right.
We are meant to move. Number
Mhm.
one, and one of those reasons it gives us the endorphins to stay young,
Right.
and lubricates the body.
Mhm.
And so, body, mind, and spirit is what those sports do for us.
Absolutely. We're going to step aside for a second break and final break of the show. I find the conversation so fascinating. Richard, I have Richard Mars here. He's sitting here in studio with us. And again, as I mentioned at the top, he and I are going to be doing a show in November called Memory Roads, a conversational show about memory. What was your first car? Think about that, folks. We'll get back to that in November. But I find, we may want to get him on as doing regular segments on that show down the line. We'll talk about that. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about his book. I've got my crazy questions to throw at him, which he has no idea are coming at him purposely. And if we had this interview 5 years from now, I want to know where he thinks we're going to be as a society in 5 years. You're watching Aaron's Hour Coast to Coast. Don't go anywhere. More to come. We'll be right back. Woo-woo. Hi, I'm Hall of Fame broadcaster and local TV host Aaron Phillips. Are you interested in hosting a podcast? I offer a podcast seminar where I share the information you need to set up your podcast for success. Some of the topics that I cover include basic terminology, how to do a successful interview, who to target as a potential advertiser, and more. For more information, visit thevoiceof757.com or email me directly at aaron@thevoiceof757.com. Let my voice speak to you.
Every day they answered the call. They served, they protected, they sacrificed. When their final journey comes, they deserve the same honor they showed others. Firefighter Memorial Transport provides dignified memorial transportation for our fallen firefighters, law enforcement officers, veterans, first responders, and their families. Because heroes should never be forgotten. Your tax-deductible donation helps keep this mission moving. Donate today. Firefighter Memorial Transport. Honoring heroes, serving families, preserving their legacy.
Stephanie Corcoran, branch manager of the Freedom Lending Team, is a dedicated VA home loan specialist that runs a team with one mission, serving those who have served our country. As a proud military family member, she understands the sacrifices that come with service. That's why Stephanie and her team are committed to making the VA loan process simple, clear, and tailored specifically for veterans and active duty families. Whether you're buying your first home or using your VA benefits again, you deserve a team that knows the ins and outs and puts your needs first. To chat with Stephanie, call 209-777-5160. At Freedom Lending Team, we don't just do VA loans, we specialize in them. Let us help you take the next step by bringing veterans home.
All righty, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Before we get back to Steve, I have a couple of things where I want to go over. John, if you could please put up pickleball. Why do I bring this up? Because according to National Calendar Day, today is National Pickleball Day.
Wow.
Today, August 8th, is National Pickleball Day to celebrate a popular paddle sport. Try to say that 10 times fast.
Really?
That continues to gain popularity, and in the spirit of the sport, we're sharing our curiosity and support of the game. So my friends at Palace of Pickleball, right down the road from here in Holland and Independent, where they split. Lisa, tell Lisa we said hello. Today, 50% off open play. It's only $10 instead of $20. Hey, you want to play pickleball at midnight? They have a free for Royal chapters. Otherwise, only $20. You can get products, 50% off. It's all there. So National Pickleball Day is today. Go over to Palace of Pickleball. Check them out. Tell them that Aaron sent you. Thank you very much, John. Let's go to the next flyer, please. Coming up on September 26th of 2026, I am hosting a gala for Recovery for Life. Hope, Help, and Healing. Recoveryforlife.com is having their annual gala. There's a QR code there on the screen. We are looking for sponsors. They have sponsor packages, which you can also see there. Tickets are available. So please come support Recovery for Life on September 26th. That's actually going to be right here at the Westin Hotel, right here in Town Center, beautiful facility. So please come check that out, and let's support those that need our support by helping them make sure they have the resources still available to them. Thank you, John. All right, let's get back to Steve. So before we get started with going back to business, I'm going to throw some of my curveball questions
All
out.
right, I'm
ready for these?
Hey, bada.
Swing, bada. I got a pitcher, not a belly. Anyway. All right, who's your favorite actor of all time?
Well, John Travolta.
John Voight? Oh, John Travolta.
Yeah. I love what he did, and of course,
it's not a name I get very often.
Yeah,
Travolta.
well, he revolutionized a whole industry.
Absolutely.
He did Carter's, thing. And then he got into doing the Saturday Night Live.
You know what I love that he did over the last 2 years during the holiday season? Those Capital One card commercials where he's dressed as Santa.
Yeah.
Those I thought were fascinating. I thought they were terrific. I love those commercials. He did a great job. They did a great job with him. I thought those were wonderful, and I'm happy for him. Who's your favorite actress of all time? Female side of the ledger, for any reason.
Oh my gosh.
Who do you like to watch that's on the female side?
Well, there's just so many. But I'm going to leave that one alone because there's just too many that I like.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm going
That's
to leave
fine.
that one alone because there's no favorite. There's just too many of them.
Favorite all-time movie, so that when it comes on Netflix or whatever, you're going to watch it.
Star Trek.
Which one?
You know
The
what?
original motion picture?
Yeah. I'm
V'ger.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I am.
John's a big Star Trek
Trekkie.
guy.
I'm a Trekkie. As a person that got insight that the possibility that money would no longer be the reason to survive. It was a way of rewarding the creative process.
Sure.
And that stuck with me.
Okay.
So I'm a Trekkie from
Soup to nuts.
it can be the worst show. It can be the best show. I just love it. And
That's what I feel about Batman.
Yeah.
You
I
have
know.
all my different can you tell?
Can you tell?
Adam West is my number one. So I have to imagine William Shatner will probably be your number one Kirk. Number one captain.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Absolutely.
Live long and prosper.
Okay, cool. If money were no object, and presuming it wasn't already in your driveway,
Mhm.
what's your dream car that you'd like to own one day?
Wow.
I feel like Geraldo Rivera. I asked a tough
A
question.
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Lambers and
Color? Any particular color?
And I like Porsches too. Red.
Red? The cherry red?
Yeah.
You know they're the most pulled over car by cops.
I know. I drove one that had Hollywood plates all
Oh,
the
you
way
got-
to California, and we pulled into a gasoline station, and he goes, "What you boys do to have a car like this?" And he was a movie and filmmaker. And
Okay.
He turned over and he says, "We rob gasoline stations."
Oh my gosh.
And for just that moment,
The guy had shit in his pants, didn't he?
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
a little. We both lit off. But we drove that thing nonstop all the way to California from New York.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Had
Oh,
Hollywood plates on it too.
Favorite vacation spot?
Virginia Beach.
Oh, come on now.
I'm
All right,
telling
let's
you.
put that aside.
No.
Where would you like to go? Do you have a
Yeah,
dream spot? Like
yeah.
a bucket list vacation?
Sure.
Where?
I want to go like where the best surf spots, Hawaii.
Okay.
Now, if I go to Hawaii, I will never come back. Type of, in
Right,
my
sure.
mindset.
Right. I went out there for the Pro Bowl in 2009 in February. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Loved it.
If they didn't like, they don't like us Hollies as much, but the point being is that's any place that's Shangri-La,
Okay.
some of the tropical islands that have the biggest waves,
Okay.
that have,
All wave centric. Have you
Yeah.
gone to the new wave place down here in Virginia? Beach? Have you tried it?
I'm a paddle surfer,
Okay.
and it would not fit my paddle board, but
Okay.
I love the idea.
Yeah.
In fact, I have designs for other type of wave machines,
Okay.
building housing around it and having our own, tribe of surfers there. But
Okay.
there's a technology now that makes it's a bell shape.
Okay.
And it plunges. When it plunges, if you put your throw a rock in the water, it makes
Right.
a circle and
Yeah.
it goes
the
out like
whirlpool
that.
kind of thing.
Yeah, well, not whirlpool, but it just sends out
Okay.
a wave,
Right.
a shock wave, right? So when you plunge it, it just pulls out like this, and you can have 6-foot waves here, 5-foot waves, and 3-foot waves, and it's all the way around, so you can get thousands of people at one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
All right.
hey, if anybody wants to invest in it, let me know.
Hey, you Powerball winners! Somebody may have won $800 million last night.
Woo!
Or the other night.
Did they actually win?
I don't know. The report I saw this morning was they were waiting to see if anybody was going to come forward.
Oh, but
So
they
I-
did. Somebody did.
I don't know.
Oh.
They didn't say if there was a winner. They're hoping, but who
I
knows?
was hoping that we go past $1 billion. We need to, because by time you get
And minus taxes and
taxes and everything, it's like $200 million.
Even listen, if you win $800 million, and your net is 200 million, you still wouldn't take that?
It's not that I wouldn't take it, but it's a whole big difference between that and this, you know.
I still live on 200 million.
Oh, we could do that.
We
Really
could do
easy,
damage
right?
on
Yeah.
200
Oh
million. All right,
my
let's get
gosh.
back to it. So, it's interesting. You're talking about Star Trek, and it's funny because I just ordered replicas of the communicator and the little tricorder for
Yeah.
my collection. Even though, I mean, I love Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's two unique pieces outside of my Batman shit. But anyway, so let's talk about the future. Okay, we've got the DeLorean pulling up right now with
Well, don't
with
forget about.
Doc.
I want to say one more.
Yeah, please.
Actor
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Oh yeah,
Okay, he moved in my neighborhood, but he's a method actor,
absolutely.
and I loved Robert De Niro.
Oh yeah,
I mean
very
he's
good.
old school.
You talking to me?
Yeah,
You
you talking to
talking to
me?
me? You talking to
You gotta love him.
Oh, absolutely. And he's such a wide range actor too. I mean, he's just brilliant. So let's get in the DeLorean and let's put in with the 88 gigawatts and all that stuff. Let's push ahead 5, 10, 15 years from now. We're sitting here
Yeah.
doing this interview in that time frame. Where's society in your opinion? And where should it be? Where would you like to see it?
Well,
Where's your
that's my
involvement in it?
book.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
my
talk
book,
about that
okay?
too. See how we just killed two birds with one question?
Really, the book is really a guideline to the potentials of that,
Okay.
and there's like two opposing powers going on: grow up or blow up.
Okay.
The next paradigm shift to the Great Awakening or not.
Okay.
It's up to
Us.
us.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's the title of it.
Okay.
And then I talk about these things where we're going, what the potential is, because all technologies have a two-sided sword.
Mhm.
You have atomic energy,
Mhm.
but you have the atomic bomb. Okay,
Right.
so it's how we raise ourselves. How do you change human nature? Is through human nurture.
Mhm.
Okay, so AI has a potential of taking over 60% of the jobs in the next 10 years.
Only
Fi-
60%?
Yeah.
You don't think it would be more than that?
Well,
A lot of people have
Yeah.
a fear to be 100%.
yeah. Well, and is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
It's a bad thing if you think that's the only way you make your money.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what if and I worked with a think tank out of Washington, D.C. that got ESOP law, employee-owned businesses.
Mhm.
What if we all own that technology
Mm.
and receive a dividend from birth, and money becomes the power of compounding of it, because we own all the new technologies, the flying cars and all the things that are potentially out there,
Mhm.
versus having to work and be, a slave to somebody else's bean counter. So actually it can free us up from the mundane.
Okay.
Okay, so in the next 5 to 6 years, about 30% of the jobs will be taken over. There will be, through peptides and all these new medical things that'll be happening.
Mhm.
Things are going to be completely changed. It will live another 5 to 8 more years,
Okay.
if not 20 years.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's what I see. I see the capability of the paradigm. If we do it properly, we could be owners of all the capital production, because there's power in consumption,
Okay.
and nobody's released that power of consumption.
Okay.
And I in the book, if you get the book,
When you get the
when
book,
they get book,
first it's got to be written and published,
Yeah.
which will be soon, by the way.
soon.
As soon as you
yeah.
pare, what did you say yesterday? As soon as you pare it down from 1,900 pages?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a movie.
Yeah, it is, and it is a movie
Oh,
too. So
right.
I did write it as a movie too.
Right.
The paradigm is that we could have abundance. We could have more leisure time to do the important work, which is body,
Mhm.
mind, and spirit.
Mhm.
We don't have to be economic slaves. That's the last bastion of slavery,
Mhm.
is economic slavery, where we're tied to everything by, oh, we got to make money to pay the rent, and we got to do that. Well, what if all these technologies actually had that money? Now we're just using our mind as
Mhm.
as creatives. Wow.
Mhm.
Where could the human potential be?
Right.
And that's what that's what I see coming down the road.
Okay.
The other side is that we could all get pissed off at each other and push buttons and biologically destroy ourselves.
Which people say is just about close to happening anyway.
Well,
so,
it is.
but yeah.
It's a race,
Right.
and that's why it's so important. What I'm doing is actually presenting the other side of that, which we all fear, which, we have the amygdala, and the amygdala, when was the first of the development of the brain, because when you stepped in front of a snake, you wanted to have a recoil or you wouldn't survive. Okay.
Right.
So the fear is we will be, there is no hope for us. Right. So it takes a Renaissance man, somebody that takes the time to understand all the systems and mechanisms. And I recommend, there's a few people like Ray Kurzweil, Peter Diamandis, Abundance. The Future is Better Than You Think. Those books will put you in the lineup of who I am. Bucky Fuller with a geodesic dome. He said that we are on a spaceship Mother Earth and we're hurling through the universe millions of miles an hour. And through good design, we can take care of the mundane. So I come out of a lineage of that kind of thinking, And now we're ready because of the potential, in AI and all these things, we can actually create it. See, before the steam machine, we didn't have surplus.
Right.
And so we never knew when things were going to go upside down.
Right.
So we didn't have enough time to have leisure time.
Right.
Now we have leisure time.
Right.
And that is a very important step in humanity.
And I something that I think people can kind of catch on. We only have a couple of minutes left already.
Yeah.
But our European brethren, there's a reason they only work 4 days a week and get 3 days off, and their production is so much better there because they do have more leisure time and they have more ability to focus on themselves and the family. I find this all fascinating. Unfortunately, I am clocking out of time. Quick shout out to my buddy Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco, great wide receiver and punt returner, kick returner, is out there watching. Thank you, Rick, as always. And in that future, Rick Upchurch better be in the NFL Hall of Fame by then.
There you go.
Got to say that about that. All right, real quickly, a couple other quick oddball questions of mine, and then we're going to sign off and say goodbye. Quick reminder, though, bottom of the hour, 12:30 local, Cox Cable Channel 4, The Voice of 757. We'll start a series of shows where you get to see me revisit some of the great people that I had the opportunity to present on the show since January. We'll do that for the next couple of weeks, kind of revisit everything. And then beginning on September 12th, new shows will be aired, beginning with some interesting people as well. And then next week on my show, I'm going to be introducing you all out there to a gal by the name of Sonia. She is we're going to share her story, looking for help. She is in need of a kidney transplant, and we're going to talk about what she's going through, what it means to be on the list, and all the things you have to do to go through all of that.
Big deal.
So this is going to be a very important show for next week. All right,
got one ask.
Please.
One ask for you.
Yes.
On my Facebook page, Steve Neskus, I do a morning show. Okay. And it's a beautiful morning show that I do with this is Steve with Sunrise on the Coast. Happy Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if you want to see a sunrise and you want to see the surf report, please friend me, and also friend me.
I saw your pictures this morning, dude. They were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And if you'd like to know more about what's happening with the future, just say I want to be a friend and put the word awakening. That way I get where you are and you're ready to make a transformation. So those are the two
and it's
things.
Neskis is how you
right.
spell his last name. You can search him up on Facebook.
First name Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. But I saw your pictures this morning, dude, and they were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
John, if you could roll that phone number I just put into the private chat. What would the Voice of 757 be without a 757 area code, right? 702 is my personal cell that I've been using for 21 years, but I'm proud to say that I now have a 757 business number.
Woo-hoo!
So as soon as John rolls it, you'll be able to reference it, but it's 757-523-3789. I try to make it as simple as possible. 757.
Welcome to the 757.
Exactly. 757-523-3789. That is a number that will roll to my personal cell, but more importantly, it is now part of my marketing for consistency. Since I am the voice 757, I need a 757 phone number. So I now have it. And hopefully in the next 24 to 36 hours, my website has been redesigned. I want to publicly thank Matt Mullen back there in Las Vegas, who for many, many years has been managing my website. and updating it for me and everything. But good luck on your future endeavors, Matt, as they say in the wrestling world. Sky 4 TV is going to take over managing my website, since they are now digitally marketing my website. This way we kind of make sure that everything is consistent with the local branding here in Virginia Beach. So Matt, thank you to the nth degree for all your support in helping that website stay current. All right, a couple of quick questions. They're real simple, 2 to go, and then we're going to say goodbye. Number 1, you can answer this any way you want to. Feel no pressure with what you see here in my studio. Who is your favorite superhero, Batman or Superman?
Batman.
All right, good answer. That means you'll be able to come back on the show.
Thank you.
Now, my next question is really the only serious one that I ask in these series of questions, and you kind of alluded to it earlier in the show without even realizing it. But when the day comes, many years from now, since you're 71 years young, when you are standing at the pearly gates and the maitre d' is there to welcome you in. See, maitre d' restaurant, see what I did there? Just for you, bud. I did that for you.
Yeah, you're keeping it alive.
What is it you want to hear the maitre d' say to you as they welcome you through the pearly gates?
Hopefully, job well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple, sweet, short.
Job well done. You
Love
did.
it.
You did your
done
task.
good.
Yeah, you've
You've
done good.
Yeah, you've done good. All right, everybody. That does it, my friend Steve today. Thank you for coming on, my
It's
friend.
my
Appreciate
pleasure.
you. Thank you so much.
It's a really nice show that you got here.
Thank you.
And I felt very welcomed and loved.
Appreciate it.
And your audience hopefully will appreciate it.
Now, there's only one thing I ask of you beyond this. When that book comes out, all my authors, I get a signed copy to
You're
add to
gonna
my
get-
library.
Oh, yeah.
I have
You're going to get a front row seat.
excellent.
Okay, what up?
I'm going to be creating that front row seat. That's a little look into it as well. All right.
Future, yeah.
Next week, Sonia and I will be here to share her story. Don't forget, and everybody listen, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you for making me part of your weekend. As always, I'm Aaron Phillips. Be kind to everybody. Why? Because we are all we have. We'll see you next time right here on Aaron's Hour, Coast to Coast. Thank everybody for watching. Facebook, when next time you go on,